Yo, what is up, Nerdy Squad? It's your boy Otis back with another video. Your boy finally got a chance to finish watching DisneyPlus new mini TV show Echo. And I got to tell y'all straight up and down, I pretty much liked the whole entire thing all the way until the last episode. For some reason, that's how a lot of these shows have been going on Disney Plus. Some of them have been good, and then you get to the last episode, and it just feels rushed. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this new show. So, Echo basically is a continuation from the Disney TV Plus show Hawkeye, the TV show that he had. And basically in this show, Maya is on her own trying to take on Wilson Fisk and his army, and she basically brings the trouble home with her. So now she's got her family caught in the crosshairs, and Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, sends some of his boys down to Omaha, I believe Oklahoma, to take care of Maya because there's a price on her head because she has been going around stopping Wilson Fisk's business from continuing on. So in this show, it's basically a street level show. There's no like super powers really in it until the very end, so I can see why a lot of people have issues with it because everything in the show was street level. Maya was basically is this deaf character who throughout the show, talks to other people with her sign language, which I thought was really cool to watch. And so, everybody that she's connected with in the show are being sucked into this drama because she's basically bringing it on them because she's brought it home. And so one of the guys in the show who kind of runs the skate ring, I don't remember what his name is, he gets sucked into it because he runs, I guess, the shipping plant at one of the centers in this small town, and Maya goes to disrupt Wilson Fisk's shipping plant by destroying one of his shipments, which basically lead to Wilson Fisk sending some of his boys down to take care of Maya. And so for whatever reason, they get called off when Maya and her sister get sucked into it. And Wilson Fisk decides to try and take care of her himself, but things don't turn out the way that he planned. And it leads to like this big fight scene. Sorry if I'm going to be all over the place with this review. But the fight scene didn't really work out in a way that I guess a lot of people thought, even myself. So throughout this show, Maya keeps having these visions of this, excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, Choctaw people, I guess her ancestors from way back when, who constantly sending her visions and images and stuff in her head, and she's not understanding exactly what any of this means until she goes to see her grandma, who she's had an issue with for some years, and her grandma basically explains to her, you're part of this long history of this family. This just isn't a story, and they are sending you messages, and they're trying to help you be there for you through, Echo. That's basically why the TV show is called Echo. And when Maya was a kid, she got into a car accident with her mom, and she lost her mom. For some reason, the brakes got cut. Her mom died because a car hit them, or a truck hit them from the driver's side. And she basically lost part of her leg. So you'll see that, she has to walk around with like a metal brace. And she gets taken in by her uncle who moves to New York, or her dad, I should say. And her dad was into some dirty stuff. He was working for Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. And he eventually gets killed. And this leads Maya to be taken in by Kingpin. And she gets brought up under his tutelage. Comes to find out eventually, excuse me, spoiler alert, Wilson Fisk had her father killed for whatever reason. And so she's been going around disrupting his work and basically just trying to take over. So she ends up in so many words killing him by shooting him point blank range in the eye. You see it at the beginning of the show. It basically happened at the end of Hawkeye TV show, Point Blank Range. But of course, everything you see in the shows is as never as it seems. And so she goes home to disrupt some more of his work. But again, this is where some of her family gets sucked in, because you got the guy from the skating ring getting sucked in. There's another guy at the skating ring who works there, but he decides to double cross the head of the skating ring. I don't know what the guy's name is, I'm sorry, and turn Maya in for a bounty. But the guys that work under Wilson Fisk are crazy, and they end up killing him instead of giving him the money for double crossing Maya and the guy at the skating ring, her family. So, the troubles come home, and Maya has to stop Wilson Fisk from hurting her family no matter what it takes. Now, this whole time I kept expecting a lot of these people to die. Somebody, her grandma, her sister, excuse me, somebody. And surprisingly, none of them got killed. And she ends up, stopping Wilson Fisk by using some type of healing power, I guess, to go in his mind to try to heal all the pain he's been going through since his dad laid hands on his mom. And by him laying hands on his dad, that stopped him from, all the suffering and pain that Wilson Fisk was going through. And he leaves, but before he does, his soldiers get into a fight with her grandma and her sister. And this is where this power comes out, where she's able to transfer power to her sister and her grandma, and he kicked the soldier's ass. So I can kind of see why everybody kind of maybe fell off by the end of the episode, because we were expecting a big showdown, and it didn't turn out that way. And the last episode honestly did feel rushed. So I'm just going to skip to the very end, where Maya goes to spend time with her family at this small get-together cookout that they're having. And Wilson Fisk freaks out after everything that happened with him and Maya, I guess, trying to heal his pain. Gets back on a private jet to go back to New York. And he wants to meet with the heads of these other tables. And, excuse me, he sees on the TV show that the New York City, I believe, is looking for a mayor. And I'm guessing he's getting the idea that he wants to step up and take on mayor. So, and take on, being the mayor. Now, I'm not sure if whatever Maya did healed him. I believe he's still suffering. I believe he's not going to be, changed and become this good guy. If he is, it's going to be a little while, and then he's going to go back to his old self. But for the most part, this TV show to me was pretty good. I like the street level stuff about it. I like that it wasn't having no big superheroes show up, no big otherworldly threats show up. It was a street level show with Maya, who was just using her smarts to combat the threats that were coming after her and her family. That's the whole point, until you got to the very end where she started to have this power, and then it started to kind of go downhill a little bit right then and there. Everything else leading up to this show I really liked, so I can't see why everybody had issues with it all the way up until the very end, because I haven't watched anybody's review. I really don't plan to, because for the most part, I liked it. And I would like to see it continue, to see where it goes. Now, the one issue I do have is that a lot of times with these TV shows, because there's so many comic books in this in this space, they gotta dumb it down to make it fit the MCU, right? And so 6 episodes is really short for a TV show. Like, it maybe should have been 10, 15, or 20, even if it's just gonna be one season, just to be able to tell a more complete story. But I will definitely give this story, I'll probably say an 8.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it for the most part, all the way up to the very end. And I definitely want to know, what are y'all thoughts on the Echo TV show on DisneyPlus? I did like all the characters. I like the sister, the guy who owned the bowling ring. I like the grandma. I thought the mom, for the little part that she was in, was really nice. I like the family dynamic fitting into this show. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If anybody wants to donate to the channel, I will have a link below. I'll catch y'all in my next video. Again, I give this TV show an 8.5 out of 10. It was good until the very end, with the power started to come in. I'll catch you on my next video. Peace. I'm out. You know what? I just forgot about one more thing. So, yes, we do get an appearance from Daredevil in this show. And I got to be honest with y'all, the fight scene really wasn't that great. I wish it would have been more to it. But, yeah, I'm going to give the fight scene a 6 out of 10. I wish it would have been better. But, no, that's the end of the video. See y'all later.